Yo, just working on getting some stuff set up here. Take a minute. But in the meantime, let me kick off the Uncarved Block track I was working on. We'll keep working on tightening this up and figure out what we're going to go do next. But let me start this while I click the appropriate buttons. Alright, a few things. There's a track in here that sounds noisy. Why not that? Let's... hats, maybe? It's a little... much. Oh, it's this one. Alright. I've got all kinds of stuff running here. I kind of want... I think I kind of want to get a EQ4 in so we can see what's going on. What I think I'm going to do, I don't usually do this, but let's take this and... I want to get it to a submix. So, send IO... Let's go submix 8. The reason I'm going to leave it to 8 for now is I'll probably use submix 1 to go do some other fun stuff. We'll use 8. This will give us a bit of FX or other things we can do if we need to route some stuff around. What is it? Air Visual EQ4. There we go. So definitely, like, we probably don't even want anything from here to here, like the first half. Let's drop this way down. Just trying to tweak it. Let's go back to here. We'll go see if it's all right. It might be better to do that with a high pass filter. Let's give it a try. You hear, like, that's a lot more bassy, and I don't think we want that. So we still want to cut it out. Let's go filter. We can at least like A/B this once we get it set. Hey, Red Wolf, what's going on, man? How you doing? All right, let's go. I don't want to rack. There we go. Let's mute it. We're gonna. So, I guess we can't solo a send or submix. We'll solo here. And. Yeah, I think that getting this tweaked is a little... I think I want the high pass filter. All right. I'm just going to do this, like, I think it's worth trying to clean up some of the frequencies here. Especially if I want to try and do, like, something to try and maximize some of the audio here. Let me see here, we're pushing really hard. This will be a problem later. Let's pull the ceiling down to like -7 maybe. Yeah, the Pro Pack for I think most people is pretty good. It's definitely worth. I think for most people it's worth getting. The Super Warp is solid. I mean, if you're going to compare it to like Ableton Live or running stuff on your computer, probably not as much what you're looking for, but for standalone, it is absolutely great. And like the EQ4 and stuff, really helpful. So I guess like what I'm looking at here as a broad problem is we can see we're clipping, we're going over 0.00 dB, so we are definitely clipping. And I can turn the volume up here to kind of compensate as we pull stuff down, but just trying to figure out with like some of these mixes and a few other things going on, like what do we got going? It's too much. Looks like we're at around -9 dB for bass, which is good. -4 dB on this drum track is just like way too high. Even with like everything mixed together, I'm gonna try -9 dB. Well, if you get the Pro Pack, the fabric sampler is really nice. It doesn't get you everything in there, but it'll get you a pretty good selection if you decide you I kind of want to check it out, like fabric more. I think you get fabric sometimes on sale for what, like $30 or something. Fabric and Fabric XL come together. They're pretty good. All right, limiter's still showing at like -6 dB. So I'm just like tapping it to try and get it to redo it. We're like -5.5. It's getting better. I don't know if we probably want to take the gain down here. The Air Flavor Pro's adding gain to this signal, which make it a little bit harder to deal with. -8.7 might be a tiny bit too low. Fabric Select is a subset of Fabric and Fabric XL. Really just Fabric. I don't think it's a subset of Fabric XL. The XL's just got higher quality samples than Fabric, by and large, from what I've seen. So if you've got the Pro Pack, you'll get Fabric Select is one of the things. So it just has like, I don't know, 60 or so patches, whereas the Fabric by itself is like a couple hundred maybe. So it's like Fabric Select is basically just, it's the same patches that you'll get in Fabric. If you've already got Fabric, you're not going to get anything out of it, but it's just like one of those nice to haves if you don't have Fabric and you just want to check it out. Electric piano seems a little high. We might not be clipping over. We're clipping a bit over 0 dB still. E piano probably a little too high. Put the gain down on it. this more like -15, but it's going to sound louder. It's going to sound quieter until I get everything else kind of in line here. I'll start with -8 dB. -13 is not bad. The pads are -8.5, so it's still kind of loud. All right, this one, I don't have an effect in the chain right now. I actually want to start with visual EQ, just see where stuff is. We're not like too bad in the low end here. Let's go over. Let's do a drop. See how much we can take out. The M8 guide, I will get back to it. I had been doing a bunch of M8 videos, and nobody cared. I mean, there's like a few people that really cared, but they didn't get a whole lot of views. So, not saying like that's a reason to do it or not do it. I want to do it for me personally. I keep using the M8 as well, so I'm just taking notes on stuff. I don't know. I'm kind of considering changing what I'm doing with the channel anyway. I've been doing like a lot. You guys have seen I've been doing less SP404 Mark II content, and definitely want to get back into doing MPC stuff. I've always been a big MPC head. I got like a bunch of gear I am selling off. M8 is absolutely not in there, but I've been continuing to downsize what I've got, and I'm going to stop answering, I think, quite as much some of the like really basic how to do stuff questions. So I just need to find a way to free up some of my own time, and I do have a pretty big break coming up in December for vacation, so I'm like hoping I can just put some time aside to sit down and just really focus on writing, because I don't think people, the videos I do like daily, I don't think a lot of people appreciate, even if it's like, it is a lot of work. So like just doing videos and trying to get a video out every day consumes time. And then like a lot of stuff's like, somebody will ask something, I don't have a piece of hardware, and then going out and trying to get the like manuals and try and help answer stuff for people or try and figure out how to do something equivalent. It takes a lot of time. So 5-minute video can easily take me a half an hour to an hour. You know, doing one a week's taking me, I don't know, I'd say on average 5 to 7 hours doing the, of just kind of going through and figuring all this stuff out, putting it together. You know, I try and do the videos in one take, but sometimes I have to re-record them if I make a mistake, or if I'm like, oh man, the information's really bad. So yeah, I'm going to keep poking me for M8 video stuff, or video and the guide. I do want to get a nice wrapped up guide for it. Like in my head, I've got like some ideas on how to break down the different commands and go over like different ways to use a lot of them, because there's a lot of fun stuff we can do with it. So yeah, just keep asking, and hopefully in the next month or two, hopefully in December, I'll be able to like sit down. I am going to skip doing the sample advent calendar. It's been the fastest for December. It's been the fastest way to kill my channel. As you'd probably expect, most people just download were downloading the stuff that I was providing for free for samples and then bouncing off. So, I don't know. I'm talking with a few folks on some stuff I'll do to kind of change up my channel. I'm thinking December I might just do whatever I can to do a track a day, and whether it's a finished track or just get as far as I can through it. I do want to keep doing the Uncarved Block stuff. Been really enjoying doing that. Like just trying to put like a track together, talk about it, and then I'm hoping to get people interested in stopping by that are looking for feedback on putting tracks together and want some royalty-free, unlicensed, or I'm not like looking for copyright licensing for somebody taking like what I'm putting together to make their own tracks. So I'm trying to kind of build that, and had a couple times where I get a lot of submissions, and then other times folks are like, I want to do this, and then bounce off. So I don't know. I'll get there. All right, with just the EQ4 cut, it looks like we've dropped about 4 dB just getting that low end out of the way. So I'm actually pretty happy where this track is right now. I don't know. There's like a really big M8 community, and I mean, I don't talk about it much, but I actually own 4 M8s. I've been working on doing some like small. What I want to do is get like a small performance style setup. So, yeah, like just trying to figure out what I want to do. As I said, I don't want to be like my intent on doing SP404 Mark II content was not to be like the go-to person for it, and I know like I'm a tiny channel compared to other folks, so most people are going someplace else to get SP404 Mark II content anyway. But I don't know, I did the guide because I just was like so irritated at the lack of information and people putting bad information out there. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put this together and kind of just go with it. And people just kept asking questions. I didn't think I was going to make more than 300 videos, and I've got over 1,050 videos now. So it feels a little crazy, but I mean, it was good to get stuff going. All right, let's take the hats and see how much we can cut out here. I don't want resonance, probably. Yeah, like I think like this right here wasn't adding much. It just makes it louder. I think we can squeeze it a bit. Yeah, I did like PO33 stuff off and on. The PO33, 32, and 35 I've sold off because I was like, I just wasn't using it much. Man, this thing's like spiking. Alright. I'm intentionally trying to not use the mixer levels right now, because if I want to do like automation to sweep stuff in or out, I don't want to have the mixers set and then have to figure out. This is like a problem that you end up hitting in Ableton Live and other things, where if you like, I would say if you're trying to automate like volume sweeps or other things, and you're trying to figure out where to do it, if you leave the mixer open so that I can come in, like for me personally, I just like to be able to come in really quick and get a sense of what are the levels of everything in relationship to each other. If I come in and I'm like, I do this, now I have to remember that I made this change for the hi-hats and don't do anything else. Whereas if I leave it undone, then I can come in later as I'm starting to do like the final passes for instead of like if I get kind of my mix where I want it, I can then start saying like, well, I want the hats to kind of like fade in at the beginning or fade out at the end. I then have my reference point of 0 dB to work from. So there's a lot of different ways to work through this stuff, but this is kind of how I think about it frequently. Although if you hang out and watch me do anything, you'll also see sometimes I'm just like, whatever, the fastest way is to mess with the mixer. Anyway, I'm going to come in and just use the velocity and pull the hats down. Let's see, 65, 70% maybe. Let's see where we're at. I'm really trying to get this down to like -15 to -20 dB. I might need the limiter to help out here. Dynamics, not filters. So we'll see if it helps. So right now it's barely... The problem when you're trying to do some of this mixing stuff is you got to remember, just because you can barely hear it doesn't mean you're not going to... It can indicate that you have to fix other things in your mix. Those hi-hats are gone. Looks like they're hitting like around -17 dB now, which maybe is a little low. Might be able to pop this up a tiny bit more. We'll go to like -13, -12. Like it's on the edge of me being able to hear it now. The hi-hats are probably competing with the that noise track as well. This is like -15-ish. Piano here, way too loud. So -5. We've got 2 slots here. Let's start with an EQ 4. The reason why is, like, presumably I don't want most of this bass sound coming through, so I just want to get to the first here. Do a hard cut. Now I have to, like, decide, am I okay with it being bassy and competing with the kick drum and bass or not? I want to see what this sounds like at around 200. And I might even want to take a hard cut on the top here as well. Like if you this is all you like, a lot of this is just do it to taste, but this almost has more clarity to me potentially, like just listening to it. It's just not like, if I turn this off, it's got like a lot of like the diode, that diode effect is adding a lot of harshness to it, and you can see it's very loud still. So by turning it on, we're kind of cutting out that as well. Could use a bandpass filter for it as well. Let's see how this sits in the mix now. It's about -7 dB. As I was talking, using the velocity here to drop the track volume down, a thing to note is, as well, like I knew this would be okay doing it on the hi-hats because it's just a sample and I just had one, I just chopped it and it was one layer. You don't always know how something like a synthesizer or multi-layer effect is going to react when you drop the velocity down. So I'm going to do it and we'll see if it helps. But sometimes you'll find that it starts playing as a different tone or timbre. So you got to kind of listen to that. Let's go down to 65. It's like what's happening right here, if you don't notice. It's the delay buffer has those louder notes in it, and the quieter notes are not overwhelming the delay buffer. So we may not be able to do this because of the diode going into the delay effect. We'll stop it all the way though. Yeah, it just goes into like this straight ringing sound. So this is not going to be a way to reduce the volume. I'm probably going to just want to use the limiter here, because I want that effect of the delay. I'm not like not always like going into the limiter, but just this happens to be what I'm reaching for today. Let's go minus... Start minus 9. Like minus 14 dB. It's not too bad. Alright, we get this noise track that is the one that I'm sending to submix 8 so that I can get more effects in the stack, because we can see like it's negative 6 dB. This thing's like a monstrously loud. Here it is just with filter, we're at like negative 12, which is helping, but I think to be able to hear the hi-hats better, we need to still carve this down, which is maybe why I need to use EQ4 instead. Alright, so I think we need a harder cut. I think I wasn't messing, I was... We'll really hammer it through here. Then I'll go to the high shelf and so like I still have the noise, but I can hear the hi-hats better. Like for me, the important part is I can hear the kicks and the bass seem pretty well separated. I don't know. I kind of want to like push down really low. Where are we at dB wise now? Negative 16 or so. We also want the air filter on. It's just a negative 23 dB, which is a pretty big difference. All right, let's see where we're at. The EP track might be a little high. Pads might be a little high. We cannot use the volume for the gated noise here because it's going to the submix, so you have to kind of ignore that. I don't want to tweak EP and pad a little bit more. You can see like here on the mixer, we were like up at like plus 2 dB, so we were definitely digitally clipping it, getting digital distortion. We're now like well below there, so I actually have more headroom to mess with as well if I want to add like vocals or something else. Let's go EP, Flavor Pro. I'll shave one more dB off of it. Negative 15, I'm good with. I can live with it. Like negative 13 for the pads. It just spikes for a very short period of time, so I'm actually think I'm okay with that because the tail gets harder to hear. I am kind of thinking I like to do some variations. Do we go for a different hi-hat in here, maybe? Oh, didn't hit it. Not in time. I like that one. The delay's a problem because the quantization fixed that a bit, but I don't know, maybe this needs to be straight. Like that note. Just nudge it over here. Whoa, this is all goofy. All right. I'm just doing this to myself. Okay, I don't mind how this carries over from the end. It was just sounding weird to me that it was straight through here, and then getting, like, the first part was not straight. And the, because it's like 2 second and a half of the delay. It's not like that much. Mess around with some more noise here. It's like barely hear it, which I did on purpose, but it's another one I put the timing off a little. I changed the timing. That's loud. Last two you can't hear practically. Let's go transpose them. Extend it. quiet. Maybe I have to... Let's just create parts for everything. Touching the touchpad. My bad. This is a little weird. I'm just going to make a bunch of variations. I don't know if they're going to get used for anything, but just have something to kind of mess around with. A little bit off time. A lot bit off time. No, I can't use erase. Ha 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 ha. Grid view. I save myself some heartache because if I do erase, it's going to erase it out of the arranger, not out of the clip. Chord. Right. All right, that's probably better. Nope. No. It sounds weird. We'll just paste the same thing on, maybe, and hope Delay Pro will be kind. mean, this one's going to sound cleaner because I mixed it first, and then everything else I'm kind of playing around. That sounds fine. You just hear like those like odd bits of distortion coming through. Which isn't bad. I will need to decide if I want to. We're like 50 minutes. I probably gotta drop it a little bit anyway. But so maybe I'll stem this out and then arrange it in Ableton. I'll do a stream arranging it in Ableton Live or something later. Got a few more things I can tweak though first. Yeah, I guess I'm going to drop. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.